Science, Technology and Innovation, Mr. Uche Nnaji, who has been under intense scrutiny following a report that the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, UNN, has denied issuing the degree certificate linked to him. And there are different versions. We see how a version is submitted to Senate, which the matter went to court. There is a position of the minister, and there are controversy now echoing through the halls of the National Assembly and across social media platform, where we are now seeing critical questions being raised as to the verification, the processing, the credibility in the public office, and the due diligence of government vetting processes. Now, we are seeing the minister on one hand insisting that the records are authentic, but the date and the disparity that we see is troubling. On one hand, we've heard that he entered the university, yes, that he failed a particular course, but his entrance was noticed, but his exit was unknown. I mean, it brings to the question whether the minister actually graduated. Now, if he did not graduate, and he says that he finished from University of Nigeria in Nsukka, it can only point out to something, that there is something wrong with the certificate. If it's leading to forgery, it's in a dimension of criminal offenses, either the penal code or in the criminal code, whichever way you look at it. And in the north, it's even weightier as a punishment under the law than in the southern region of the country, where we have these different codes operating. But in all of this, public accountability is at the center of it. Nothing's been heard. It seems that the presidency is very quiet over this one, leaving the minister to start explaining himself. But is the explanation tenable? But there is an organization that has done a very decent, thorough job, in the sense that they took up this matter. They evoked the Freedom of Information Act process, where they obtain information not only from University of Nigeria and Nsukka, but also with NYC. But are all the records as presented by Mr. Nnaji authentic? If not, where did he get the one that is gave to the Senate from? Let's hear, because there is going to be a right of reply earlier on a sister program on this channel. There are accusations that there are intent of the newspaper, Premium Times, into how they got those information and why they did what they did, and maybe there are political angle to all of this. Let me speak tonight with the editor-in-chief of Premium Times, Mr. Musikiliu Majid, who is live for us virtually.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good to see you, Mr. Kilo. Give us an understanding, first and foremost. Your organization has been accused of obtaining bribe for this story. What inspired this story? How did you begin the story? When you assigned the story to a reporter, what was the intent? Give us an understanding.
Okay, first of all, Robert Ungu, the spokesperson for the minister, accused us of receiving 100 million naira from the Enugu state government. Of course, he's going to prove that in court. We are not a newspaper that you can unduly malign. You know, we've built our integrity for close to 15 years. And we've done a lot of great stories, and no one has ever accused us of us. People know us for that. Our practice is built solidly on integrity, and not even a Robert Ungu or an Uche Nnaji can destroy it. And so we'll meet in court. He will bring his evidence and tell us how the money was given and how it was received. So that's what I will say to him, because he ordinarily does not even deserve any response, because I heard your colleagues asking him to provide evidence and he couldn't. So, but of course, he's going to prove that he's definitely going to get his day in court to prove that. Now, regarding this.
So, sorry, Mr. Majid, so you have taken it upon yourself to pursue this matter in court. Have you instituted it, or you are planning to do, or you will do it?
No, it just happened. He just made the allegation this morning, and we've passed the matter to our lawyers. Is the video and all he said, we've passed it to our lawyers for review. So we're not going to take it lying low. That is always the strategy, the tactics for people. When you do reporting, they will accuse you of either playing politics, of being used, of being paid. It's as if journalists don't have integrity and journalists cannot do their work without being induced. We don't take that because we are not that kind of newsroom that pander to anyone. I say that all the time. Not even the richest man in the world can influence the reporting that we do at Premium Times. Not even the most powerful man in Nigeria or anywhere can influence. We've taken up anyone, and we always do our job with professionalism, deeply rooted in ethics. So for Ugu or whatever his name is to come on TV and malign us and say that, no one, if you recall, has ever done this to us because people are very clear about how we run our newsroom. So we're going to take this all the way to court. We want to give him enough opportunity to really provide the evidence that he has.
Now, give us an understanding. I asked the question, what inspired the story? Because in a newsroom, there is a reason why a newsroom takes up a story. What inspired it?
Well, in this particular case, we really, at least from what the editors briefed me about, what they told me, a whistleblower had sent us an email to our newsroom email to raise concern and to alert us to some discrepancies in the minister's claim. And the whistleblower appealed to us to investigate that he or she, we don't know the person, is confident that if we do diligent investigation, we will be able to uncover something shocking. And that we took up the challenge, and then we started working on it since 2023. We started working on it. In fact, we first wrote to the NYSC on, I'm trying to check the letter we sent to NYSC. We first of all wrote to the NYSC on 23 September 2023. That was when we started. So when this whistleblower wrote to us, the editors took it up and assigned reporters to do it. Some worked in Abuja, some worked in Enugu, and they were all working together consistently. So that was what happened. We had no battle with the minister. We didn't know him. But for us, this is not the first time. Our strength is investigation. Everybody know our newsroom for that. And when a matter is brought before us, we investigate. At times, we find things that are indicting. At times, we don't. But it's our job as journalists, especially as requested, as required of us by the Constitution, to hold power accountable, which is what we have done here.
Now, what did you discover? Who did you approach? When you evoked the FOI, who did you write to, and what did you find out?
Well, at least I've received enough briefing in the past few days from the editors and reporters who worked on this story. I'm told, and I've seen all the work that they did. First, they wrote to the NYSC, and the NYSC quite responded to say that they have no record of this, because what our newsroom did was to send first of all, what happened immediately we tried to get exactly what is submitted to the Senate. the 10-page document that he submitted. It took a while because you need to beg senators to get, since it was only distributed to senators, you need sources within the Senate. So they got it eventually after, weeks of trying. After that, the certificates in that submission, there are two of them that became of interest to us, the NYSC certificate and then his degree certificate from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. We now made copies of those certificates. The copy of the NYSC certificate, we then attached it to a letter, to the FOI letter to the NYSC, asking them to authenticate the certificate. The NYSC wrote back to say, no, we can't authenticate this certificate. We don't have any record of this certificate. So if you have that this particular certificate, they basically said the certificate is fake. So when we got this, the letter from the NYSC, we now wrote to Uche Nnaji himself on 8th January 2024. We wrote to him. We said in our letter that we received a petition raising questions on the validity of the certificate of national service you obtained from the NYSC. So we now say, however, the petition made it necessary for us to write to the NYSC for authentication of the certificate number A231309. However, the NYSC replied that it was unable to authenticate the certificate. To that extent, could you please provide us with the original copy of the certificate? Given the NYSC inability to authenticate the document that is submitted to the Senate during your confirmation hearing, can you say with confidence that your certificate is genuine? Kindly note that copies of this letter are also being sent to your email address, uchenanaji@gmail.com, and WhatsApp number 080330996. So that was so we wrote to him, to Nnaji, immediately after we heard back from NYSC. We then wrote to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. We wrote to the registrar. I think that was, I'm trying to find the letter but that was also around the same time. We wrote to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and then we didn't get any response. We sent reporters there several times to follow up. We sent reminders. We didn't get any response from them. At a point, they responded to our reporter and said we needed to pay 10,000 naira processing fee. But what we asked them to do was to authenticate the certificate that Mr. Nnaji had attached to his to document that he submitted to the Senate. To authenticate this certificate. Did you just hold on? I want to see if I can pull up the letter. The letter that we wrote to the NYSC, to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, which is dated February 1, 2024. So we said that the above named person, because we attached the certificate, and we said the above named person, who is now Nigerian Minister of Science and Technology, claimed that he obtained a bachelor's degree in microbiology/biochemistry from your university, as seen in the attached certificate with number 004501. The person also claimed that he graduated from your institution in July 1985. So he also presented the certificate to the National Assembly during his screening for appointment. We said, one, we like to know if he indeed graduated from your institution and in July 1985. We also like to know if the certificate was issued to him by an institution at all, and when. So we are requesting this information under the Freedom of Information Law and blah, blah, but they never responded. At a point, they asked us to pay initially 10,000, later 15,000, which we paid. They still didn't respond to us. So we now receive information that there were people instigating the registry staff at the university not to respond to us. We didn't know who the person was. We didn't know whether they were associates of any politician. But when we kept pushing, they now said we should go and provide Nnaji's registration number, his student number, which we didn't, for a long time, we couldn't find it. And that was how they shut the door on us. So we left it. We couldn't make progress with the investigation because we wanted to be really sure that the university issued the certificate or did not. Until when we now learned that in August, there is a new leadership at the university, we decided to try again. So we now wrote to both the vice chancellor. Initially, we wrote to just the registrar. But in our second attempt, we wrote to both the vice chancellor and the registrar separately. And we decided this time to courier the letter to each of them separately, which was what we did. Luckily for us, the vice chancellor responded. And just today, the registrar has just responded, affirming the same thing that the vice chancellor told us. So that was how we worked on that.
Okay.
But while waiting for these responses, we also did a lot of forensic analysis of the documents. We busied our time analyzing the documents, sourcing all kinds of, for instance, we must have reviewed more than 100 NYSC certificates belonging to different people across the years.
Just a moment. Let's and I wanted you to analyze the process of your investigation, and so that Nigerians can understand what led the newspaper to what it did. For context, you are one person who has worked closely with one of the industry most reputable journalists in person of Dapo Olorunyomi, well-respected investigative journalist, one of the founders of Premium Times. So yourself and a lot of your colleagues are well-respected for the job that you do. So it was important for you to explain the process so people will understand. Now, having established how you got to this point, let me then ask you, what did you discover from your investigation? Did Minister Nnaji attend UNN?
Well, the truth of the matter is that he did not. And it took us a lot of work to come to that conclusion. Apart from what we put out, there were other information that we have. We spent a lot of time on the UNN campus, and there is just no evidence that he graduated. He attended university quite all right.
Yes, he entered, but he never graduated. That's what your investigation said.
No evidence. For instance, some of the documents that we saw, we could see, when he was admitted, the courses that he took, the many times that he was absent from school, the many times he brought medical certificates as reasons why he couldn't write exams. And that was part of the reason why I couldn't write the last exam, the virology exam. There is no evidence that after he missed the exam the first time, the second time, and perhaps the third time, there is no evidence that he returned to write that exam.
Mr. Maji, did he at any point in time, were you able to find out any of his classmates at UNN?
No, the issue, of course he will have classmates because he was there. He was there. I'm just telling you that perhaps what we found was that he had a problem with one course, and which was a core course, a terminal course that he needed to sit to graduate. So he had classmates. In fact, I'm sure that many of his classmates perhaps didn't know that he didn't graduate, because I saw him brandishing maybe a class register or whatever. How will your classmate know that you ended up not writing the exam? But one thing is also clear. You claim you graduated in 1985, but as of September 1986, you are still communicating with the university, pleading to be allowed to write that course. So where did you get the certificate that you took to the National Youth Service?
So did he serve the 1 year compulsory youth service? Did he do it under NYC?
Well, the NYC said they are not aware. They didn't issue him this certificate.
So summarily, the UNN certificate is fake from what you found out.
Definitely.
The NYC certificate too is fake from what you found out.
The UNM certificate is fake, and the university has said so.
What about the NYC certificate he presented?
No,
is that also fake? Okay.
Wait. In 3 different correspondences, the university says he didn't issue the certificate. I mean, correspondence to us by the Vice Chancellor, a letter to us today by the registrar of the university, and then a letter to the Public Complaint Commission. The university says it didn't issue the certificate. Now, meaning that it's fake. The NYC wrote to us to say they cannot authenticate this certificate, meaning they didn't issue it. Therefore, we can say, and our own findings, when you look at the NYC certificate, you will, even without the NYC telling us, you can see that it is fake. The man who signed it was not the head of the NYC at the time he purportedly signed it. The man became the director of NYC 18 months after he was said to have signed the certificate. How can that be?
All right.
How do you then have a service duration of 13 months? You, Sheung, did you serve for 13 months? I said we reviewed up to 100 NYC certificates. No one served for 13 months, but only Uche Nnaji.
All right.
He holds a record as perhaps the only Nigerian who served, who did his NYC for 13 months. And yeah.
Thank you so much indeed for your findings. Could you please avail us the registrar's correspondence with you? We'd like also to use it as a point of reference in our conversation.
Do you want me to read that for you?
No. You could help me send it so that we could use it subsequently. But I must thank you, Musikili Umojid, who is the Chief Operating Officer and the Editor-in-Chief.
But wait. Because there is an issue you didn't raise about the issue of the minister admitting that he never collected his certificate. I heard your colleague asking the Mr. Ngu or whatever about the affidavit that he deposed to himself, which is before a court of law in Abuja, that even though I'm reading from that affidavit here, that even though I am here to collect my certificate from the third defendant, due largely to the non-cooperative attitude of the third to fifth defendant, the third defendant issued a letter dated 21st December 2023 to People's Gazette, which stated, among other things, as follows. He admitted in a case that he brought himself that he never collected any certificate from the UNN. So where did he get this certificate that he took to the Senate? The same certificate was what he gave. This certificate, where did he get it from? He took this certificate, he gave it to the president for his appointment. When it was claimed by the State Security Service, that was the same certificate. And then he took it to the Senate. Right. Where did he get it? But he said himself that he was here to obtain his certificate from UNN.
Those are critical questions which we'll be asking. But I must thank you, the Chief Operating Officer of the Premium Times and the Editor-in-Chief, Mr. Musikiliu Mojid. Thank you so much indeed for the work you and your team have done on this matter.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
We'll take a break, everyone. But when we return, there's so much questions to be answered. Did Mr. Nnaji go to school? If he went to school, did he attend the University of Nigeria, Nsukka? Did he serve the compulsory NYC? If he did not, where did he get the certificates in which he submitted at the Senate and to the DSS? We'll be finding out more because the minister is responding tonight. Who is a consultant on media to the Minister of Science? Quickly, you might be direct and we need direct answers. How much of this man do you know?
I know so much.
Are you personally close to him? That's
very, very close to him.
Okay. Let me ask you, did he attend UNN?
In 1981, Uche Nnaji took JAMB and they enrolled to study microbiology and biochemistry. What is the present day that is known as genetic engineering and molecular biology.
In the same school?
I'm coming. He studied biochemistry, microbiology, what we refer to modern times as molecular biology and genetic engineering. It is not just a course that any person will wake up in the morning and decide to fill in a JAMB form to go and write. He was enrolled. Year 1, 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year. He graduated with his set. And the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, deemed in feat in character and learning to graduating. University environment is the most structured administrative organization in the world. Your responsibility as a student, Sharon, is to write the exam. What happens to your script, every other thing, is not your business. The next thing that concerns you is your result, pasted on the notice board. That is your business. From the point you submit your answer scripts of several courses to the lecturer, your business stops there. Now there are steps and layers. The head of department and the departmental academic staffs will take time to mark your script. After marking your script, the HOD will summon them in a meeting. It happens in almost every university. To authenticate what they have marked according to a specified marking script. From there, it goes to the level of the dean, faculty. From faculty, it goes to the next level. The Senate is the highest decision making of every university. Decisions and approvals take place in the Senate. It's not the responsibility of any student. You don't take your name to NYSC. Nobody does it in this country as of today, unless it's going to start tomorrow. The Senate moves it to NYSC. NYSC ships it back with a call-up letter. But before they move it, they must have made sure that all the relevant courses are passed. If there are decisions that Senate are supposed to take, they will take it at that particular point.
So, but the big question is that,
yes,
I mean, we are all familiar with that process.
Okay.
But did he graduate?
Yes.
Did he graduate with the set?
Yes.
Why is it that the UNN is saying, and the registrar, as a new communication today, that Uche Nnaji did not graduate?
You never saw any of the communications.
Nobody. No, the letter from the school is there.
Nobody saw the one that they purportedly claimed that was given to them by the vice chancellor, who received a petition on a weekend and responded on 2nd of October. Nobody is questioning what happened to the due diligence People's Gazette did 2 years ago. What happened between 2023 and 2025? They use freedom of information routes to get what they require. People's Gazette. Nobody is talking about that particular aspect. The same thing, the same institution. Celine Nebedum was the registrar. She authorized IAS Onyado to respond to the inquiries of People's Gazette. This was in September. And they got their response in December 2023. Suddenly, 2 years after, they, what do they call themselves? Premium Times came up. Did you see the rigmarole? He went physically to NYSC, you did not write, and they said they could not authenticate. Was it verbally, orally? An institution of NYSC cannot respond to inquiries formally. Did they respond orally or formally? Presumably it was orally, because that was what he said here.
Just a moment. Listen, okay. I mean, let me show you. This is the letter as written by UNN. And UNN says, we can confirm that Mr. Geoffrey, in the first paragraph, paragraph number 1, with matriculation was admitted by the University of Nigeria in 1981. From every available records and information from University of Nigeria we are unable to confirm that Mr. Geoffrey Uche Nnaji, the current Minister of Science and Technology, graduated from University of Nigeria in July 1985, as there are no records of his completion of study in University of Nigeria, Nsukka. That is a letter that was signed on the 2nd of October, just a few days ago.
Who signed this letter you are reading to me?
It's the Vice Chancellor.
Where is the signature?
That's the signature upon it.
Where is the signature? Where is the signature?
The copy I have, there is a second page to it.
Oh, let me see the second page.
No, there's a second page. Professor Simon Otwanya, who is the Vice Chancellor. And he said, flowing from above, the University of Nigeria did not, and consequently could not have issued the purported certificate or at all in July 1985 to Mr. Geoffrey Uche Nnaji, the current Minister of Science and Technology.
Now, what are we talking about here? A man who came fortnight ago, got a petition, responded to a letter on 2nd of October. Is it responsibility of the chief executive of a university?
Are you saying that the vice chancellor's position is wrong?
I wanted to take
No, I don't want us to rigmarole.
My brother.
You said, just a moment, sorry, I'm moderating this. You said you know him very well.
Yes.
And the questions, the issues are not really very deep as such. It's either he went to school or not. If he went, did he graduate?
He graduated.
If he did not graduate, where did he get the certificate from?
I said he graduated.
Why did the university say he
I want to answer your question.
Yeah, but I don't want a lot of explanation. I just want you to be able to answer straight.
No, you have to. Because the man of Premium Times rigmaroed, saying, let me put it clear to you, the chief administrative officer of any university registrar. There is nowhere in Nigerian higher institution where the vice chancellor takes care of admission, examination, and records of anybody.
But the registrar just written to
Chief Administrative Officer.
Just a moment. Did you hear that the registrar...
Wait. What the registrar wrote once, 2 years ago. What was Celine Nebedum when she wrote? Was she a bossa or was she a vice chancellor? Was it not from the same university? People's Gazette, is it not a media organization? What's the difference between People's Gazette and Premium Times? 2 years ago, it is what you have to now investigate. Why would People's Gazette inquiry? And it was authenticated on a letterhead, signed by Mrs. IAS Onyado on behalf of the registrar, who ordered her to write in respect of this inquiry by People's Gazette. 2 years after, they went on the same wild goose chase. And now you want us to believe that a vice chancellor, who just was appointed a fortnight ago, the first job he has to do as a vice chancellor, who does not even know where certain files are in his office, and now he is not responsible to respond to a tacky matter that he will have referred to even to the senate of the university for them to bring the minutes of meeting or the senate approvals of graduates in 1985. Do you know policy of university change from time to time? We are talking about 40 years ago. And we are thinking that the way it was then, it is where it is now. These are the issues at floor.
So there is a letter written yesterday, dated by the registrar, also affirming that the sat through the university record for 1985 session and they could not find Mr. Nnaji's name on the graduate list. That is the registrar as of today.
Showing, if I come to check, every organization must have institutional memory. That is why it is a school. What it meant in essence is that I can go to my university, and what they gave me some 3 years ago or 2 years ago, if I come back again 2 years after, it will change. That is the question we should be asking ourselves here. Who tampered what?
Where do you think the problem is?
The problem is very simple. We have a PDP arm in University of Nigeria and Soka. The immediate past acting vice chancellor, Professor Jam, was the returning officer for PDP in Kano East local government area. He was compensated with the acting vice chancellor position.
So the minister imagined that this is politically motivated.
Follow my trajectory. 2 years ago, an innocuous question came from People's Gazette because of what they felt they had. And they followed due process. They went the route of Freedom of Information Act. And with that power, the university was able to respond. But where did these people get their own? Now, we have to look at what is really happening. Tampering of results. And that was why we went to court. Requesting the court, which they gave some orders, that continuous tampering will stop, and causing the university to release his transcripts. Every certificate you see in this world emanated from results. Results, certificate is an aggregation of what you did 3, 4, 5 years.
All right, let me ask you quickly. You are alluding or alleging that this is politically motivated.
Definitely.
Why does it look now that, for example, the NYSC certificate, as presented and documented by the minister to the Senate, looks totally different? And I have copies of those who, in fact, people are already furnishing me with their own certificate of the same year, which is totally different from the kind of certificate as presented by the minister. So if you look at it, you look at the CEO of the NYSC at the time was when he said he did his NYSC, Colonel Edet Akpan, from January 1984 to December 1987. That is Uche Nnaji's NYSC discharge certificate, and was signed by Colonel Agbamuche-Mbu, who was NYSC CEO from January 1988 to 1990. Do you see the discrepancy? The person who signed,
you saw a signature,
only entered office in 1988.
Wait. You saw a signature. Did you see any name there? Who was the forensic expert that ran this? Why are we like this in this country? By mere looking, you are I now. It's just like what our security agencies do on the road. Once they look at you, they know whether you're a criminal or you are not a criminal. Why wouldn't we subject this into forensic analysis?
So, which university did you go to?
University, okay. I studied industrial chemistry.
Did you have graduation photos?
What?
Graduation photos.
Yes.
Does the minister have his own?
Haven't you seen it circulating everywhere?
Do you have it?
I don't have it now, but it is everywhere on the social media.
Okay, if you can furnish me,
I will give it to you.
I've not seen anyone.
I will give it to you.
Who are his classmates that he graduated?
In fact, I could remember one Professor Owo of a suit said that 2 of them were in the same school. In fact, one of his close cousins said that he came to his graduation, a lawyer too, Barrister Nnaji. Do you understand? I did not.
That's the only person that.
These are the ones that is on. I will forward it to you because this is a continuous engagement.
No, you know, finishing your exam and graduating are 2 different things.
My brother, I'm telling you. Listen to me very well. The only person or group that has capacity to authenticate your ability to leave the higher institution is the Senate.
All right, just give me a moment, sir. We need to take another break, and when we return, our concluding moment on this matter, whether or not Minister Nnaji perjured himself, forged document, or did he attend school, we'll be concluding that conversation after this break. In the affidavit that was attended by the minister through his lawyers in court, who says that he did not collect his certificate. Did you see that?
My brother, at this particular point, we are not relying on anything that are flying. We went to court, we secured order, three key critical order. One, that they should stop tampering on his documents. Two, that NUC and Federal Ministry of Education will cause them to release his transcript. And number three, that the Vice Chancellor and the university should release his transcript. Because
in that affidavit,
yes.
I'm asking a direct question, sir, because we don't have the time. In that affidavit, he also swore that he did not collect his certificate.
I am telling you, there is no affidavit. What they are parading in social media is the figment of their
what went
imagination.
to court? You are disowning what the papers
I
in
have
court.
what we have in court. Now we have an injunction. I'm telling you what they are supposed to release to us, our transcript. That is what is on the ground now. And
So,
that is what we need from them.
If you summarize and conclude this conversation, what do you think is really
It's very simple. We have the PDP chapter of University of Nigeria and Soka, that the former chairman was the acting vice chancellor, Professor Jam, and the present chairman of PDP chapter is the politically anointed vice chancellor, Professor Simon Otwanya. That is the truth of the matter. We understand where they are shooting from. At the appropriate time, we'll look at the political side of the whole shenanigans.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So the whole essence is to get Nnaji out of office.
It's an impossibility. You don't get a scientist out.
Okay.
He has a very purified and clear mind. I thought we would have had 1 hour here so that we will separate facts from fabrications.
Thank you. We need to go.
A lot of content.
But of course, the registrar's letter, which will go on China's television website, you'll find it, are submitted to us by Premium Times based on their
And please, bring People's Gazette.
Thank you so much.
Bring People's Gazette previous letter. That is the foundation to all this thing. We should not rely on
That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Shinwa Kemale. God bless Nigeria.